video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to use the brand new JND507 sentiment lines alongside the Crafts 2 Multipurpose heat mat and the new precision stamping press to stamp the beautiful little lines that we have around one of our 6-inch frame maker die pieces. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my frame maker and I'm going to pop it down onto the mat. And because the mat is a reinforced silicone mat, that piece will not move. I don't have to tape it down. This is ideal for stenciling and anything like that, and stamping to make sure your piece doesn't move. The springs are in the platform, so absolutely perfect. So because this has been cut to 1 inch, if you can see here, I can line this up and get exactly 1 inch. So I've got exactly 1 inch measurement on here and on the mat, so everything's been matched exactly right. So if I want to put a sentiment around this, and I'm going to go with Sent With, I think I'm going to go with Sent With Love. Now we've got Merry Christmas. I'm going to pull off Sent With Love. Or we'll go with Happy Birthday. So we can easily line the stamp up. I can move this out. So I put my line on any of the lines there on the mat to make sure it's completely flat and straight. I can then take my precision tool and line the lines up and press down. So I now know that that is lined up exactly in the center. If I'm concerned, I can check it, I can turn it over, but that's exactly in the center. So I can now take my frame, pop that down. I'm going to turn my press over and ink my stamp. I'm using a VersaFine Clair here in Rainforest in a green so that it shows up nicely. And I can then exactly match the 2 lines for the inch measurements against the measurements against the card and against the mat as well, so that I can simply press that down and know that that will be exactly in the center. I can then repeat and ink my stamp and repeat the process, matching the 2 lines up, making sure it's in the center, and press down. Again, I can repeat this for a 3rd time. And again, all I'm doing every time is matching the lines up. So the line on the press with the line showing on the card and the line showing on the mat. That nice and even, and press down. And that means my final one will line up exactly. So again, going to ink that. And again, matching up the lines on the sides with the card, press down, and there I have my perfect little frame of Happy Birthday going all the way round. So what I want to do now is to do one for the center. So I'm going to take a strip of card here, and this is again being cut to 1 inch, fits perfectly on the mat. I'm going to take my Happy Birthday off, and I'm going to go with 2 of the patterns, and we have swirls that go in opposite directions. So what I'm going to do with these is put either one down on my mat just between the 2 half-inch lines. So nice and perfect. Match the swirls on the other side. So again, I'm going to go up against the last line and up against the line here to give me the perfect border. And once I'm happy that they are laid out and even, I take my piece, my precision tool, hover over the lines until I'm happy, move down and pick them up so that's exactly even. I can then ink that. Again, I'm using the VersaFine Clair in Rainforest, hover over, and it fits exactly that inch size, push down and stamp. Then I have that perfect little ribbon strip in the middle there. I can take my strips off. Again, take my Happy Birthday, lay it down flat on one of the central lines, pick it up on the matching central line on the press, and again ink that. And I can make sure this is exactly in the center again by lining up the lines either side of the card, move it until I'm happy it's in the center, press down, and there's my happy birthday strip running all the way through the center. Everything fitting. So I have my frame and I have my little happy birthday. So I'm going to make up a card with this. I'm just simply going to add a little bit of the Craft Artist Super Tacky glue, and I've got a mat here that's been cut to 1.25 inches and 1/8, sorry, to give me a nice 1/16 of an eighth border. I'm going to take a little bit of glue. So on the back of this frame I practiced a couple of times, and I can use the lines on my mat to line this up to make sure I get this perfectly in the center. So dotted line, square, square. So this is now, get that right, completely straight. Helps if the glue doesn't go off, so we can get that completely straight. I can then turn that over. I'm just going to add a little bit of foam tape to my frame, which will help to secure that central sentiment in place. So 4 pieces. I'm using 2mm foam tape as my preference, as it doesn't make it too thick for posting, but it still gives you that lovely shadow look, and it doesn't make the card look quite so flat. And we pull that one over. And here I've got a piece that I've embossed and inked using the Nellie Snellen Leaf 3D embossing folder and matching stencil. So I can just drop that on, trim out the excess, and then I have a nice 7x7 card blank that I've prepared with a little mat of the green. And again, I can use my mat to make sure I get things nice and straight. A little bit of green showing that side, and we don't want that. Trim that out. And there we go. Perfectly stamped frame and a perfectly stamped ribbon sort of strip border in the middle.